Hey everybody, today I'm going to be comparing the Roomba i7 Plus, the Roomba S9 Plus, and the Shark IQ Robot Auto Empty. Basically, the three main robot vacuums right now that include one of my favorite features, the Auto Empty bin system. We've had all three of these robot vacuums for some time now and have done all kinds of tests with them, and this video will go over all the pros and cons and pick which one of these is the best in our opinion. So links in the description, and let's get started. I should mention that I did do some minor consulting work for Shark on the IQ Robot project. I even appeared in their infomercial, all of which I was paid for, so keep that in mind as I go through this. But I think you'll see that we try really hard to be objective in our tests and try to show the good stuff as well as the bad stuff so that you can make your own call as to which one is the best. Starting off with the price, here the Shark IQ Robot is the clear winner as it's almost half the price of the i7 Plus and quite a bit more than half the price of the S9 Plus at the time of this video, which is a pretty significant amount. So all three of these are smart navigation robot vacuums, meaning that they use top-mounted cameras to map out your house and clean in straight, efficient lines while avoiding obstacles. I found that in terms of coverage, all three were really good, covering the entire floor with no missed spots, though the i7 Plus and the S9 Plus did have a sizable area around their auto-empty bins where they don't vacuum, which I didn't really like. The i7 Plus on average also took a little bit longer than both the Shark IQ Robot and the S9 Plus to complete the jobs, with the Shark and the S9 Plus getting virtually identical times in various tests. Really, in terms of navigation and coverage, I felt that they were all great examples of top-of-the-line smart navigation robot vacuums, but the Roomba S9 Plus and the Shark IQ Robot did seem slightly more advanced than the i7 Plus. They all have apps that you can download to make the most of their smartness. These apps include things like scheduling from anywhere, voice control with Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant. They all also have features like Room Select, where you can create dividers in the app and tell the robot which rooms are which and to clean certain rooms and not others. The two Roombas also have a feature called Keep Out Zones, which I really like, which will be fully rolled out to the i7 and S9 soon, if it's not already, where you can draw boxes on the map in the app to keep the robot from going where you don't want it to go. I've heard that Shark will be rolling out a similar feature on the IQ Robot in a future software update, but no word on when that will be available. One of the areas in which the Roomba i7 Plus and the S9 Plus, and really all Roombas excel, is with carpet deep cleaning. We test this by embedding sand into carpet and weighing their bins to see how much they picked up. The reason Roombas are good at this is because they have two brush rolls instead of just one, something that no other robot vacuums have because of a patent held by iRobot. So Roombas are always at the top of the leaderboard in this test, though the margins are shrinking as robot vacuum companies are finding other ways to make up the difference. For example, the Shark IQ Robot, which has an interesting brush roll of its own, as well as over-the-top suction power, as we'll see later, did the best of any non-Roomba I've seen so far on this test. So no matter which way you look at it, you would be getting a state-of-the-art carpet deep cleaner with any of these robots, but the S9 Plus is in a class of its own with carpet deep cleaning, though as we'll see later, it does come with a cost. Next up is power. I test their airflow and suction power with various meters, and the bottom line is that I would rank them like this. The i7 Plus way behind the Roomba S9 Plus, which is in second place, and the Shark IQ Robot in first place. In terms of airflow, the S9 Plus and the Shark are really close, depending on if you're talking about the auto empty or regular version of the IQ Robot, which has different dustbins and thus slightly different airflow patterns. But in any case, the S9 Plus and the Shark IQ Robot are two of the most powerful robot vacuums I've ever tested. In fact, I've only tested one other robot vacuum with more airflow. However, when you take suction power into account, here measured with a manometer, then the Shark IQ definitely takes the top spot, as it does have significantly higher suction numbers than the Roomba S9 Plus. We saw these power tests proven out in several ways. For example, in the crevice pickup test, the Roomba S9 Plus and the Shark IQ Robot had very similar scores, as they both got a lot of the debris from the 1/8 inch crevice and some debris from the 1/4 inch crevice, with a small edge to the Roomba S9 Plus here. The i7 Plus, which had very little airflow, didn't seem to pick up much of any debris in either crevice. On hard floor pickup, airflow is pretty important, and although the i7 Plus, which is generally pretty good at debris pickup on hard floors and carpet, struggled a little bit with heavier debris like sand on hard floors because of its lack of airflow. The S9 Plus, on the other hand, has a ton of airflow and does really well with heavy, fine debris like sand. In fact, I think it's the best Roomba yet for hard floors, and its aforementioned deep cleaning ability on carpets also means it's really good at picking up debris on the surface of carpet. Though as I mentioned earlier, there is a bit of a downside to the Roomba S9's brushes being so close to the ground, and that is that the S9 seems to struggle with large debris. It makes a lot of racket when trying to pick up larger debris, and it seems to bog down a bit. It did end up picking up all that debris by the end of its run, and admittedly this is a little bit of an extreme test, but it's not something that I've noticed with other robot vacuums before. The Shark IQ was at least as good at debris pickup on carpet and hard floors as the S9 Plus, picking up heavy, fine debris on hard floors in one pass, as well as larger debris with no apparent issues. I also like that the Shark had 2 edge brushes instead of just one, and I like that those side brushes are slow, so they don't scatter debris, but are still very effective at feeding debris to the roller. So let's talk about these auto empty bins, as it's one of the best reasons to choose one of these 3 robot vacuums, and I should say here that I absolutely love this feature. I think it's the future of robot vacuums, and it really makes you feel like you have a truly automated cleaning system in your house. All 3 of these operate basically the same way. The robot will automatically return to the base, either because it finished a job, its bin is full, or its battery is low, but in any case, when it returns, a strong motor in the base kicks in, and it sucks the dirt out of a specially designed dustbin on the robot vacuum. My experience with all 3 of these has been really positive. It really does clear out everything from the dustbin, including large clumps of hair or really anything. I also like that it tends to really suck out the filters and keep them clean as well. I can't say that I've noticed much of a difference in the operation of the iRobot Clean Base or the Auto Empty Bin from Shark. They hold pretty much the same amount of debris. The main difference is that the iRobot Clean Base is a bagged system where you have to replace the bags periodically, and the Shark system is a bagless system where you just hold it over a trash can and push the button. I also test how good robot vacuums are at resisting tangles of hair, as this can be kind of a pain on certain robot vacuums, but all 3 of these robots claim to be able to resist hair tangles. The Roombas because of the dual brush design, and the Shark because of a kind of anti-tangle comb which is part of the dustbin which makes contact with the brush. I found that all 3 of these robots are really good at resisting tangles. I evenly spread out 1 gram of 5-inch human hair, and they all did better than average, though the Roomba S9 Plus and the Shark IQ robot were able to completely resist the tangles, where the i7 Plus did get some hair caught in the rollers, though it was below average. With battery life, the Roomba S9 Plus was the obvious winner with 120 minutes per charge on low power. But since they all have recharge and resume, a feature where they automatically return to the dock to recharge when their battery is low and then resume exactly where they left off, battery life is a lot less important with smart navigation robots like these. With noise level, they were all within a few decibels of each other, though the i7 Plus was the most quiet, with the Shark next and the S9 Plus just a little bit louder when tested on high power. So on the one hand, I can say that without question, these are 3 of the best robot vacuums on the market, especially when you take into account these auto empty bin systems that they come with. That being said, I personally feel that because the Roomba i7 Plus and S9 Plus are so much more expensive than the Shark IQ robot, and because the Shark is as good in most respects and better in others, it's really hard to make a case for the Roomba S9 Plus, at least at the current prices. Links in the description for current prices. Be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars to keep up with all the latest robot vacuums, and thanks for watching.